Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Will's SOS to Bill, Finn gives in to Sheila's Steffy pressure. By Heather Hughes on comments, post a comment. Related, television, spoilers, soap operas, hot news, and The Bold and the Beautiful. 92. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Will's SOS to Bill, Finn giving in to Sheila's Steffy pressure. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, John Finn Finnegan will comply with Sheila Carter's request regarding Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Will Spencer also asks Bill Spencer for assistance on Monday's B&B program. In the first B&B episode, Will send Bill an SOS and ask for some guidance. Will would question how he can persuade Electra Forrester to pardon him given that Bill was able to win back Katie Logan Spencer despite all of his transgressions. Bill would undoubtedly remind Wood that Electra must realize that business is business, but he will also recognize Will's love for her and his intense desire to get back together. If Will truly loves Electra and wants a future with her, Bill might encourage him to persevere. Bill might give Will some optimism because he persisted with Katie and it worked out. Since Ridge Forrester punched Bill on his most recent visit, Will may also notice that his father's face is a bit rough. Given that Ridge fired Will for striking RJ Forrester and then entered Bill's workplace to do the same, that would infuriate Will. Bill might encourage Will to retain his focus on the goal and continue pursuing Electra, even if Will is likely to complain about Ridge and RJ turning Electra against him. Sheila will continue to try to reach Finn in his hospital office. She is hoping Finn can persuade Steffy that Sheila deserves time with her son and grandson, Hayes Finnegan, as Finn thinks Sheila has changed her life. On Monday's episode, Sheila will continue to appeal to Finn's emotions. Finn will eventually give in and at least discuss the notion of giving Sheila another shot with Steffy, even though he won't be able to offer any promises. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila will be happy to hear that, but Finn is about to cause serious problems in his marriage to Steffy. Visit CDL frequently for further Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and stories. Ridge teaches Electra about love, but his 8 divorces from Brooke reveal a different narrative. It appears from the subject header that Will views Electra as his property. Teenagers have that simplistic perspective on the world. Will was transformed from an elementary school youngster to a young man in his early 20s by the soaring of the character. The kid of Bill and Katie Spencer learned how to fight during that off-screen period. He either inherited his father's tendency toward physical violence, as Liam Spencer had previously experienced, or he got into several altercations with boys his own age as he grew older. In any event, Will showed that he is capable of taking care of himself when necessary. When Will repeatedly struck different areas of his cousin's face with his right fist, he fractured RJ's skin. RJ was injured and thought he might have suffered a concussion. Will therefore defeat him handily. Ridge was notoriously married to Brooke Logan Forrester, RJ's mother, 9 times. This indicates that they have been divorced 8 times, with both parties bearing some degree of responsibility for each separation. Ridge can therefore legitimately claim to be an authority on broken relationships. When Ridge advised Electra to permanently part ways with Will, viewers noticed that Electra failed to bring up this historical story point and one of the most absurd marriage histories in all of daytime drama. The mothers of the young guys are engaged in verbal and physical altercations in the meantime. Recently, Brooke gave Katie a harsh slap across the face for leaving Forrester Creations and accepting Bill's opportunity to start a fashion brand she called Logan. Brooke is still unhappy that Katie branded Logan using their father's last name. The Logan name, according to Lang's character, is her sole intellectual property. Bill and Katie are not the main characters in this plot. Instead, one may argue that RJ's parents are bad role models. Because they are potentially, if not truly, projecting, Brooke is blaming Katie and Ridge is blaming Will. Hope begs for pardon. Before her line at Logan started, Hope had her sights set on the prize. She moved forward despite being concerned about Brooke's reaction. Hope felt a sense of accomplishment and victory when her and Deke's collection was favorably accepted. However, reality set in as she descended from the euphoria of a successful launch. Hope had not given enough thought to how leaving Forrester would affect her old co-workers, especially Zend. Despite knowing that HFTF was set to resume production, she had kept them in the dark. She made the correct choice for herself, Liam reassured her. But Hope realized that she had taken those who relied on her by surprise. Brooke has been the most affected by the secrecy. She threw a jewelry display into a TV monitor that Katie was watching in the Spencer showroom as a result of her despair. She attributes Hope's decision to her younger sister. In addition to stopping what she sees as Katie's deceit and manipulation, Brooke promised to save Hope from Logan. She believes that Hope made a mistake by failing to recognize Logan's enthusiastic response. Brooke believes Katie has a grudge against her and took her daughter. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn's predicament, Taylor's concerns about danger, and Steffy's negative attitude. By Heather Hughes on Comments, post a comment. Related, The Bold and the Beautiful, television, spoilers, soap opera. 90. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn's predicament, Taylor's doubts about danger, and Steffy's negative feelings. According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester Finnegan will intensify her worries about Sheila Carter and implore Taylor Hayes to realize that things might still turn nasty. Let's talk about what's coming up on BNB, since John Finnegan will likewise find himself in a bad predicament. Now that Sheila has signed the divorce papers and given up the man who no longer wants her, she will continue to beg Finn on behalf of her family while she is in the hospital. Sheila finds it difficult because she still adores Deacon Sharp and longs for the help he previously provided. Sheila thinks that she needs her son and grandson more than ever because of this, but Steffy has made it very obvious that she does not want Finn or Hayes Finnegan around Sheila. On Friday's episode, Finn will remind Sheila of this, but Sheila will ask Finn to arrange a meeting with Steffy. Sheila hopes that by having a quick talk with Steffy, she may convince her daughter-in-law that there is no longer a threat. Steffy will discuss Sheila's decision to sign the divorce papers with Taylor while Finn finds himself in Sheila's defense. Deacon gave Taylor the wonderful news over the phone, but Steffy won't allow them to relax. Steffy will suspect that Sheila is using this as another ploy. Given that Sheila has given up on Deacon, it appears that Steffy will try to persuade Taylor that Sheila still presents a significant threat and that she has the potential to unleash her evil side. Taylor will contemplate the notion that Sheila may still pose a threat and that her entire metamorphosis is merely an act. At last, the dispute between Bill Spencer and Ridge Forrester will intensify. Bill will embrace the competition and boast about Logan's promising future now that Ridge is granting him the war he thinks the Spencer want. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill will stand up for Katie Logan Spencer and her fashion house since he anticipates their future success. Make CDL your go-to source for Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and news because we have it all. It's a little unsettling that Ridge made Elektra dump Will Spencer. Ridge cornered Elektra at work for a heartfelt conversation following the most recent altercation between Will and RJ Forrester. Since Aunt Ivy is no longer with him, Ridge reportedly feels responsible for his distant niece. He warned her that Will Spencer Jr. is violent and dangerous because he doesn't want her to fall in love. Call us crazy, but Ridge's son appears to be the only one in danger. With the exception of the part when he said, "It's time for her to choose," Ridge Forrester's argument was nearly sound. Elektra's boss essentially told her that she had to break up with her lover or quit Forrester Creations. It's not difficult to determine Will Spencer's girlfriend's inclination. Elektra seemed destined to fail. However, is Ridge becoming overly interested in the relationship of his son's crush? Is Ridge Forrester genuinely concerned about Elektra's safety? Or is he only making room for his son and the young designer to ride off into the sunset? RJ Forrester's feelings for Elektra are well known. Ridge has even made light of his son's infatuation with her in the soap opera. Do you believe Ridge is merely attempting, out of resentment, to assist his son in robbing a Spencer man of his girlfriend? Is his level of involvement in the YA love scene a little unsettling? After claiming to be the dressmaker, Ridge clocks Bill, and Finn pardons Sheila. When Sheila consented to the divorce and Ridge waged war on the Spencer, everyone was taken aback. Ridge was informed by Bill that his son was deserving of the beating. Why don't you advise your aspiring James Dean to avoid my child, Ridge says. Bill does not control his son's life. He is instructed by Ridge to warn Katie not to approach him. She is no longer a thief. Bill believes he is leveling absurd accusations. Ridge claims he has no knowledge of fashion and accuses him of snatching Attic and Hope. Bill exhorts him to grow up and acknowledge that Logan is new and vital while Forrester is old and worn out. Ridge paces and claims Will is out of control, but Bill responds that even though their boys are grown men, he is still allowed to kiss his son's breasts. He tells Ridge that they took Eric in when they were about to put him in a nursing facility and laments that Brooke has been attacking Katie in an egotistical manner. Bill says he's brave and intelligent, but Ridge says he's cheap and dishonest. Ridge says his employer doesn't interact with him, and they keep disparaging each other's businesses. Bill boasts about their numbers. Bill announces that Ridge has lost his crown by blowing an imaginary trumpet. Now I'm the dressmaker, he declares. He tells how he made his father's smut company a major force in the world. He consistently outpaces everyone by 10 steps. According to Ridge, his sons follow in his footsteps. Bill is pleased with his sons. Will is threatened with arrest by Ridge. That would be a bitch move, Bill informs him. The only way to prevail is to murder or be killed. Knowing nothing about victory, he accuses Ridge and Mini Ridge. Ridge storms out after punching him for it. I got him, Bill chuckles. When Sheila acknowledges that she signed the divorce papers, Finn is taken aback. This is the hardest thing she has ever done, second only to giving him up. He is aware of her desire to be a part of his family. Sheila claims to require it. She begs Steffy to grant her 2 minutes so she can express her opinion. She acknowledges that she feels offended and disrespected, but she has no intention of killing anyone. That's reassuring, he remarks. His mother is desperate to escape what she perceives as a box. To show her devotion, she needs her son and grandchildren. Sheila implores him to pardon her for her transgressions and recognize her as the lady she has become. He acknowledges that it's difficult to move past what she did, but he understands that forgiveness is crucial because life is short. In his heart, Finn has forgiven her. However, he hasn't disclosed that to Steffy. His spouse will never comprehend. They give each other an awkward hug while his mother begs him not to look away. Steffy doesn't think Sheila's signing of the documents was a good thing. What's the catch, she wonders her mother. Who knows, Taylor remarks. As a physician, she believes Sheila might have truly transformed. None of this can be purchased by her daughter. She is frightened by Sheila's freedom of movement. She acknowledges that she gets PTSD when she sees her mother with Deacon. Sheila and her mother are only separated in one way, which is excessive. Taylor maintains that she is truly in love with Deacon. Sheila is leaving and changing. Sheila threatened her with a pizza cutter, Steffy reminds her. Sheila's mother is pleased with her development. Steffy is worn out from having to keep Sheila away from her family. Her mother is aware that having an affair with a married man was foolish, but love causes people to act foolishly. Steffy says she won't tolerate anyone in her social circle dating Sheila. She must leave far, far away. What was it that she desired? Steffy asks. He says, I think it's time we think about letting Sheila into our lives. Dylan tells Will, for the record, I wouldn't be living above the garage if I did come back. Daphne says, I've been trying to get pregnant. Lee says, I have to give you some bad news. Will Dylan get hired by the House of Logan? According to spoilers for next week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Will Spencer Jr. will remain in the doghouse. Naturally, R.J. Forrester will be glued to Elector Forrester and would constantly urge her to discard Dollar Bill Jr. There are rumors that Will Spencer will begin to spin out of control and that the authors will send the character down a dark path. Thank God Dylan is Will's friend right now. According to reports, Will's former roommate will get back in touch with him this month and provide him support throughout his breakup. Because RJ and Elector run off together, Dylan and Will might possibly get close. What became of the major romance between RJ and Dylan? RJ appeared to have completely forgotten about his new relationship after Elector Forrester became single. B&B spoilers indicate that Dylan and Will begin to spend a lot of time together. Given that Electra's jewelry collection was shelved at Forrester Creations, Dylan may even be looking for work. Although there may not be enough work at FC at the moment, Logan's business is growing, and Katie Spencer is in dire need of employees. Do you believe Dylan will be hired by Will Spencer to work for his mother's business? When they collaborate on a daily basis, will sparks fly? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Electra discovers Will and Dylan sharing a bed, the ultimate betrayal? By Heather Hughes on Comments, post a comment. Related, The Bold and the Beautiful, television, spoilers, soap opera. 175. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Electra discovers Will and Dylan sharing a bed, a final blow of betrayal? According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Electra Forrester will continue to struggle with Will Spencer and their future together. However, Electra's ultimate choice on the love path ahead can be affected if she spots Will in a precarious situation with Melissa Dillon. Ridge Forrester has been attempting to persuade Electra that she must permanently move on from Will. From Ridge's perspective, Will's out-of-control behavior will only cause Electra more harm. Even if Electra tries to follow Ridge's advice, she still has love in her heart. Even though Will makes poor choices and conceals secrets, they still have a strong bond. Naturally, with Electra pushing him away, Will is already having difficulties. Will may find it simple to accept Dylan's unavoidable comfort, but this time apart will be difficult for him. When R.J. Forrester attempted to entice her into bed with him, Dylan finally applied the brakes. She ultimately refrained from going all the way, despite R.J. and Dylan coming dangerously close to doing so. Given that Will is the man Dylan really wants, that might not be the case. Will might have sex with Dylan to lessen the agony if he determines Electra is done with him for good. Will might try to find some passionate solace, but it can ultimately out to be a mistake. What if Electra decides to alter her mind and approaches Will in the hopes that they might be able to rekindle their romance? We could definitely picture Electra finding Will in bed with Dylan when she arrived at the beach house to try to work things out with him. Will would wish he had waited a bit longer for Electra to change his mind after this sticky moment. In any case, once some flying sparks develop between Will and Dylan this summer on B&B, unsettling news may be on the horizon. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan and Will's relationship may cause fresh issues, so keep an eye out. Visit CDL frequently for further Bold and the Beautiful news and spoilers. In her remark to Katie, Steffy goes too far. We are undoubtedly referring to Steffy Forrester, who once again went too far in her remarks to Katie Logan on her intermittent romance with Bill Spencer. Even though Katie and Bill have experienced many highs and lows together, their relationship is at least the closest thing to pure love that any other couple on this soap opera has experienced. Not to mention that Steffy and Bill used to scheme together. At one point, she even contemplated getting married to Bill in order to obtain his interests in Forrester Creations. Bill handed Steffy her shares even after she made the decision not to wed him. Furthermore, is there really a reason why Steffy despises Bill so much? Kelly, Steffy's daughter, and he get along great. In addition, Steffy didn't appear to be that distraught when Bill ran her over a few years ago while she was riding her motorcycle. However, since Bill Spencer bought his wife a fashion firm because he believed it was the moral thing to do, things have obviously changed. However, Steffy believes that this is the worst thing he could have done because it directly competes Logan with Forrester Creations. However, if there's one thing we've discovered about Steffy Forrester over the years, it's that she insists on doing things her way. Steffy will never allow someone to celebrate their hard-earned accomplishment without becoming arrogant and dramatic, isn't that right? Therefore, it's understandable why Steffy felt compelled to hit Katie where it hurts the most by suggesting that her relationship with Bill isn't worthy of praise or even recognition. As Taylor questions Sheila's intentions, Finn is faced with an impossible decision. According to B&B spoilers, Sheila approaches Finn personally and begs him, putting him under tremendous pressure. Finn has sympathy for his mother. Steffy Forrester, Finn's wife, is adamantly against any reconciliation with Sheila, thus Finn must choose between keeping his word to her to prioritize his family and running the danger of causing further strife. Taylor starts to question whether Sheila's decision to sign the divorce papers was genuinely unselfish or if she has a hidden agenda, even though at first it appeared like a positive step. Taylor worries that Sheila might still have a hidden goal as her skepticism increases. The Forrester and Spencer's escalating enmity is still boiling over. Ridge Forrester is adamant about fighting back, and Bill Spencer is not going to back down, paving the way for an even more intense confrontation in the coming days. A romantic blast from the past rattled the bridge. We nearly forgot that Shauna Fulton was back in town due to the frenzy surrounding the fashion battles. She was recently employed by Bill Spencer and is actually one of the creators of the Hope Diamond fashion show. The fact that Shauna has returned to town and is now employed by the enemy is still unknown to the Forrester. Spoilers for the CBS soap opera Bold and Beautiful indicate that Ridge Forrester will eventually run across his ex-wife and be taken by surprise. Since she left town, Ridge and Shauna haven't seen one another. Immediately after learning that their marriage was a fraud, viewers of Bold and Beautiful will remember that Ridge married Shauna Fulton after cheating on Brooke Logan. Before learning that they had never been married in Las Vegas and that Shauna had made it all up, Ridge was completely smitten with her. After the small misunderstanding, Ridge returned to Brooke and Shauna left town. She will never again allow the husband stealer to be near her. Brooke should probably watch her husband, though, as she may not be paranoid. Shauna might use Spencer's secrets to entice Ridge, or she might use her new position to re-establish a relationship with the CEO of Forrester. A few years back, aside from the entire fake wedding, Ridge really wanted to be with Shauna. Is he still attracted to her? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor worries about her daughter being in danger. Sheila's deadly Steffy plot? By Heather Hughes on comments. Post a comment. Related, The Bold and the Beautiful, television, spoilers, soap opera. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor worries about her daughter being in danger. Sheila's deadly Steffy plot? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that if Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, doesn't get her way, Steffy Forrester Finnegan may be in serious danger. Let's talk about the impending trouble since Taylor Hayes is going to get some sinister Sheila vibes. Sheila will make an effort to demonstrate that she has changed, but Taylor won't be persuaded that there is no cause for concern. Sheila will sign the divorce papers to demonstrate her desire for everyone to think she has changed. Sheila will eventually file for divorce even if there is no set period for family visits. According to BNB teasers, Sheila will sign the documents and attempt to change Deacon Sharp's opinion of her and Taylor. Taylor, though, will never be able to get rid of the impression that Sheila is merely acting as though she has changed. Taylor will secretly worry that Sheila is the same cunning monster who could lose control and wreak significant damage. Since Steffy will unavoidably obstruct Sheila's family visits, Taylor will naturally be most worried about her. Soon, Sheila will visit John Finnegan and ask for a few minutes of Steffy's attention in order to persuade Steffy that she has changed and is no longer a threat. It's difficult to think Steffy will change her mind about allowing Sheila to spend time with Finn and Hayes Finnegan, regardless of whether she consents to see Sheila. For Steffy, even 2 days a month might be too much. Taylor might recall how Sheila killed Steffy in the alley behind Il Giardino all those years ago. Sheila attempted to kill Steffy that evening, so Taylor would be concerned that she might act badly again and carry out another deadly scheme. To put it another way, from Sheila's perspective, Steffy might be the only thing preventing her from seeing Finn and Hayes. Even though Sheila says she has changed, it is understandable why Taylor would be concerned about Sheila trying to permanently eradicate Steffy. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila may struggle with temptation when it comes to her worst instincts and any terrible news they might bring, so stick with the CBS serial opera. Make CDL your go-to source for Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and news because we have it all.